fellow Southern Cameroonians, fellow Ambazonians, this is Capo Daniel, your civil liberty activist. Today I'm coming to you live. I'm in a shopping mall. I'm unable to go back home and have time in my studio or in my private corner to be able to do a live show in a comfortable manner. I'm a little bit engaged today and I will not be able to go home on time to make my presentation, as well as I'm also having some company dinner that is taking longer than we expected, so I'm probably going to be here with my colleagues for maybe the next till midnight, and by then I'll be very tired to do the show. So I'm going to just manage me, please. Let me see. You can see I'm in a shopping mall, so don't mind the noise. You can see behind me there are so many people. Just bear with the background noise. If it is very uncomfortable or if you can already hear me, then I may just stop and then I think about maybe I do the show tomorrow. But if you can hear me clearly, then I can go ahead with the show. So you're all welcome to the No Connect Zone, an advocacy platform where we hold truth to power. We try to speak the truth and nothing but the truth because of our deep commitment to the struggle and to the rule of democracy and civil liberty. So we try as much as possible to be a platform where we can hold truth to power and advocate for things that we believe are very important for our nation and our struggle. So, okay, thank you, Max. So you are all very welcome today. I welcome you, Peter Paul. One of our very good friends when I was growing up, Paul and Peter, they were twins. I think they are now in the States. So you are welcome. Nesto Neka, you are welcome. Asinje, you are welcome. I'm having some messages. Michelle Leblanc, you are welcome. Atam Eleno. Lucas Asu. Atrace Akodu Cafe, oh boy. So our struggle is going through a very crucial stage because we are in the crossroad. We are in the crossroad, and I will have to go ahead and do the presentation, and we are going to still continue to forge ahead with the agenda that we have for the struggle now, which is to help our leaders and to help the various fronts to achieve and attain unity. This is very important, as well as things like this will be coming up, like this incident in Batibo and in Mutengene and in many other things, which I'm going to put into perspective and deliver the truth to our people so that they will understand exactly what is happening. I'm going to do that because that is a mantle I took upon myself, being an activist in this struggle. Claude, now start the way shine on. Now the video sometimes you see what I did for background. Dela, I called you Cafe, oh boy, my fellow comrade. So this is Capo Daniel. I think I will take a few seconds to greet everybody, and you can share the link for a more interactive show. We are going to take it about 1 hour because I have a lot of material to put. I don't have any notes with me, so I'm just going to run it as it comes to my brain. So Njini Primus, I salute you, I throw you salute. Taku Vasona, I throw you salute. All man for Ground Zero, I throw you salute. Those in Guzang, I throw you salute. Those in Belo, in Fundong, I throw you salute. All the generals in Ground Zero, Ground 1, Ground 5, Ground 10, I throw you salute. Padiman, I know you've been a Padi Asanga, a fake Facebook. So enjoy the show. Primus for Kenya. I may be coming to Kenya on the 28th. So I may be coming to Kenya on the 28th with a Christian missionary group from Hong Kong. So I may not come, just I may. So Nesto, you are all welcome. So fellow Ambazonians, fellow Southern Cameroonians, The title for this show today is a wise saying that I have used previously, and it goes as such. Miondo the laugh cocky say the ranta neck. Miondo the laugh cocky say the ranta neck. You know what it mean? Miondo where the ranta in from his head can't reach with foot. It the laugh cocky say the ranta cocky with neck. So now say the parable day for today. So wait till why it don't happen for Gozam. No be new thing way never happened before for this struggle. But at something way so anger they were I need to condemn and very strongly at the strongest possible terms. And for tell now the true way to way happen for Gozam. And for tell now would them be involved and would they not be involved. My talk, if he discourage some, if he make some of una be angry, some of una not be angry. But as he did for this show, now no Connie talk, we need to talk Connie, we talk to them as he did. More importantly, we will also reveal the people the way they fan the flames of our division. People where they seek for use this incident for dwarf our progress towards a crucial stage in this struggle. I'll talk about that one. I'll also talk about the diplomatic challenges that we are going to have, the posturing that we are having from the nationalist movement, and the big breakthroughs we are having from the United Nations Security Council and what it means. I've had a lot of inquiry from that Kunta Kinte chat group. A lot of advisors are there. I'm going to explain some of those things so that people can hear, and we don't have to lose track. I also have had for the first time, you know, before we used to have information from SISIKU and co in the prison bit by bit because people could not really have conversation with them. What's wrong with my phone? Sorry. So before we could not really have long messages from them. You just get bits and bits because they have to really be very skillful to send message. But yesterday I had a very wonderful access, somebody who actually had a wonderful conversation with them in a long, they could be able to give a long information and discuss extensively to them what is going on, updating them what is going on and hearing exactly what they think. So they are very aware now of the details of what is going on, and they have sent out clear messages. And the message that is coming from Sako, from SISIKU about Dr. Sako is that, who is this guy? Is this not the same person who could not even come out for a protest? It's very shocking. He has completely rejected him. So those who are within the interim government and they think that they are there to protect Ayuk Tabi's legacy by protecting Sako, they are wrong. SISIKU have rejected Sako completely. This is not just a message from SISIKU. It's also from Pata Sang Wilfred. All of them who are in that detention, they are very unanimous in the rejection of the leadership of Sako. So make no mistake, Ambazonia, SISIKU will speak for himself. They may be out, possibly, and they will confirm exactly what I'm telling you today. So those of us who have been holding our foot to the fire, holding Sako to make sure that what was promised is what is being delivered, we were right. It will appear to be that the same people who put SISIKU behind bars are the same people who wants to hold our interim government hostage. The same people, you would imagine that makes many things clear, because you would see that Nalova B, somebody who was used in that adoption, we have not yet established her motive, whether she was involved or she was just being used, because we know of evidence that shows that maybe she was not very aware of the fact that she was being used, but definitely she was involved indirectly with that abduction. That's why you see the most, they are struggling to integrate her back in the interim government. Everybody who stood for SISIKU have been kicked out, and SISIKU is very upset with the power grab in the interim government. The titles that have been taken away from him, the national emblem that have been changed, the constitution that he signed that have been replaced. Sako have completely drifted away, holding hostage all the supporters of SISIKU on ground zero, under the false premises that he is the sitting on the chair of SISIKU. Now we know for sure that SISIKU is not with Sako. We know for sure. And eventually he knows, Sako knows, because a message was sent to him through Foncha, which was delivered to him. So anybody who knows, who loves SISIKU, should understand that SISIKU does not support Sako. He is also upset that he was abandoned in jail by Sako. Sako took over power. Those same people who manipulated SISIKU to put him in jail, he brought them in the government, removing everybody else who could protect the legacy of SISIKU. That is how he is where he is now. He has struggled to make the interim government in his own image, sidelining SISIKU and abandoning him in jail. If not a few friends of SISIKU who gathered themselves together and formed the SISIKU and Friends Solidarity, Solidarity Organization, SACS, that has continued to hire the lawyers and pay the lawyers to defend SISIKU. SISIKU could be in prison without any lawyer and relying just on pro bono lawyers. And you have seen them trying to use the wife of SISIKU to try to manipulate her, to make her to understand that they will not support SISIKU if she doesn't come and raise fund. Everything for them is to come and raise fund. Not that they are using the fund to fund the legal defense of SISIKU, but they are putting those money into private pockets. Even when the lawyers in Nigeria, they make a request to the interim government, to Sako's office, and ask him, I have to say Sako's office, not the interim government, because I'm going to make a distinction today. They ask for fundings, they ask for support to make a legal challenge, an injunction order to protect all Southern Cameroonians in Nigeria against forceful refoulement. The response from the from the Sako's office was shocking to those lawyers. He responded through Chris Anu. Chris Anu called the lawyers and asked them to send all the files back to America. They should send all the files back to America. And these lawyers, they call Sako. Sako said, I'm very busy, I cannot talk to you now. He keep on making excuses and excuses and excuses. And that is how they have abandoned our people in Nigeria to fend for themselves. They are being kidnapped every day and sent across the border. This is very bad. This is very bad. And after all this, we have heard the numerous people who have come up with complaints against Sako. Sako left Cameroon from prison. He was in prison. He was supposed to go to jail on conviction of corruption and embezzlement. He ran away, he jumped bail, he skipped bail. The magistrate in that his case have issued an arrest warrant against him. That is who he is. He has an active arrest warrant against him. And because of this issue in Gozang, somebody who have been running away from public view will seize advantage that there is a problem in Ambazonia, and he will jump and come to the media and face the crowd. He have no shame. Sako, are you not ashamed of all the people you have duped, the people you have stolen money, the family you have ruined, collecting some of them 1.4 million, the tens and tens of Southern Cameroonians you have stolen their money. LC, who is in America, the lady in South Africa, the one in Dubai, even two of the victims who are in China. We have not released the audios and the videos they have given us, the documents, because we don't want to embarrass the struggle. But we are not going to allow you to use the name of Ambazonia and stand in front of the national TV and address the nation while hundreds of people are painful from what you have done. Not only that, it didn't end in the private sector. You came to the struggle, they brought you in, you came and you took money from my trip to Boya, invested it in a private bank account. Bring in your friends, remove everybody that had the smell of SISIKU. And yet you come and you face Ambazonia people talking about crimes against Ambazonians. You have committed the greatest crimes of all, embezzling money that is blood money, money made for our troops on ground zero. Do you know how many people have died because you sent them to war without any equipment, asking them to build prisons, local government, setting up prisons in schools? You care less about these people. You care less about them. We are not going to sit and allow you to rub our face in the mud, to take advantage of the millions of Ambazonians. We are not going to do that. We are calling on you to step down from power. Release the IG, dissolve your cabinet, and give the Restoration Council, which you have already diluted, and give the new parliament of the IG a chance to make a replacement to call for unity. We know that the same people who put SISIKU behind bars are the same people who put you in power, and they are the same people who are managing you. We know that you did not come there by your own, but they know your background. They know that you are a criminal. They know that you are a 419er. That is why they brought you there. And you did not hesitate to take advantage and say it is chop a chop. The same CPT and politics, that is the same thing you are playing there. We know who you are, we know what you have done, and we know what you are doing. Not only us, but everybody in jail in Kondengi, they know who you are and what you are doing. And the people who are in the interim government, they know exactly who you are and what you are doing. Finally, they have woken up, have insulted the country heads from day one till now. There were innocent people that were also brought in like you. But now they have risen up, they have listened to our cries, and they have to take action. Sako have to go. Sako must go. For all the corruption you have done, the embezzlement, the misappropriation of funds, you allow yourself to be used because your hands are tied by your past. Your criminal past have tied your hands, so you have to go. You have brought in cartels, the people who created the ARA, the people who released files to the Nigerian government that was used to justify the adoption of our leaders. The same people who entrapped SISIKU. Now we can see the glimpse of the files that have been used against SISIKU in Yaoundé. The charges of terrorism, those that were used to justify, as we have heard from Nigerian journalists, the file of the meeting that was held in Taraba State, which was organized by the same people within the IG today, in the ARA, people like Chris Bongam. These are the same people who helped to organize those meetings. The meetings where Mangang, who was a wise woman, they put her out of that meeting. These are the same people who entrapped SISIKU for nothing. Entrapped them. They have now taken control of the cabinets. People like Ayim, Barrister Ayim, who brought in the sister, Jezebel, Ngwa Irene, to come, and they will take all the money from my trip to Boya, and SISIKU cannot do anything. I mean, Sako cannot do anything because he is a criminal. He has an arrest warrant against him. He's a con man. And we are tired of that. We are not going to sit by and watch that. Anybody who is uncomfortable about this thing should just leave the struggle. Because those of us who came in this struggle, we did not came to fight for ourselves. We came to fight for the people. And we are not going to let anybody to sabotage our struggle or take our struggle hostage. We are not going to allow that. We are willing to go the extra mile. So SISIKU has rejected Sako. Patasang and all of them have rejected Sako. We are confident, and I'm saying this with confidence because I know that SISIKU will one day speak. And when he will come out, you guys will be surprised the people he is going to help, the people who are going to stand by him. It is not a mistake that his first phone calls was to South Africa, to Milton Taka. It wasn't a mistake. It sends a clear signal. And I want to use this opportunity to appeal to all my friends and all activists, people like Digimas, people like Princess Harriet, people like Dr. Liz, who have been hurt seriously by the actions of most who were struggling to control SISIKU Ayoktabi. And all those who were thinking before that the actions of SISIKU Ayoktabi was because he has sold us out. They should know by now that the adoption of SISIKU Ayoktabi means that he's a clean man. SISIKU Ayoktabi is a clean man. He did not sell us out. He's still fighting for us. I want to appeal for all those who were thinking that he has sold us out to please reconsider the fact that if he was a sellout, they will not adopt him. They remove him there because he was not doing what they wanted, or to the extent that they wanted him to do. That's why they remove him there. That's why they remove even people like Atta Milan. Yeah, people can say that they suspect Milan for one reason or the other because of the way he behaved and he doesn't express himself, all those things. But I have done my investigation. I didn't condemn Milan, even though he had behaved inappropriately, holding back information that could clear his name. and that made him look suspicious. Some people will never forgive him. But I want to appeal to everybody to understand that the interim government is made of three different structures. The cabinet, the so-called parliament now, the IG's parliament, and the Restoration Council. The Restoration Council have been diluted by Sako. He has brought in his own people. People he knows, people like Coco Bling. These are the type of people. I'm not saying that Coco Bling is a member of the Restoration Council. But people like Coco Bling, who are just there to enjoy prestige. They are just hand clappers to cheer on. People who were brought there like the guy in China. Like the guy in China who was brought there unlawfully. All those initial people who were paying on who were given blank check, given loyalties that have no limit. Those people who are going to stand and support Chris Anu's decision to stop the ghost town. When they see that you are that type of a weak person who is going to do everything to stay in power, then they will select those type of people and then they put in strategic positions. That is why you have the Restoration Council today full of impotent people who cannot stand up for Southern Cameroon. But finally, those who were Johnny next door of the country heads, some of them will still challenge their position. They are now doing the right thing and they deserve our support. There are comrades like Jibans, who is the House Speaker of the IG's Parliament. I know him. I met him in Zaire. I can testify that he's a no-joking man. I have not spoken to him, but I trust him. He's a patriot. He's a fair person. I'm in loggerhead with him. He's not somebody who is going to call me or pick up my call, I think, because I've been very hard on them. But I trust those people. I haven't spoken to some of them what they are trying to do. Now they realize that some of us who were criticizing them were not doing so because we want power. We were doing so because we want to change them. Somebody like Bella Franklin. Bella Franklin has spent his time with me and Lucas to reform the IG. Ask them to have a single leader, to bring in the AIP. We did that because of love, not because we hated the institution. And we are very proud of our job. Even somebody like my associate, Eugene Ufoka, as well. We have done a lot for the IG. We didn't do that because we want to crumble it, we want it dissolved. No. We are just trying to help out. Now I'm going to go straight to Batibo, the incident in Batibo. I'm going to be very clear, clean, without any conny. I have done my investigation. I've spoken to the people in Gozang. Gozang is a place that I know very well because there is a school, a government primary school in Gozang that I am a sponsor of students there. I give scholarship to that school. I will share the picture later on. When I just traveled abroad as a young man to Hong Kong, that was the first place I chose to do charity, in Gozang. I've been sponsoring students there who are orphans in Gozang, so I know them very well. I have people I can pick phone call and talk to them. First of all, I want to just say that before I go into what happened in Gozang, I want to say categorically, I condemn with the strongest term any killing of an Amber boy, be it a Sokadefians, be it an ADFans, be it a restorationist of the ASC. I strongly condemn the killing of any Amber boys. There is no justification for that. The killings in Gozang, I strongly condemn them. More importantly for me, I condemn the bodies that were abandoned on the street. We know that yesterday also in Mutengene, Sokadef launched an attack against the Sword of Ambazonia due to repeated aggression from the Sword of Ambazonia. The same incident, people died. But their soldiers, the Sokadefians, they did not abandon the corpse on the market. Nobody could not see the corpse the way it was. It was a humiliation to the people of the cartel in Batibo. That was a big humiliation. You don't do that to your allies. All the forces, despite their differences, they are fighting for the same thing. You cannot humiliate them that way and allow their bodies on the market with their hands tied behind their backs. Only La Republique does that. So I'm going to give you exactly the facts about that matter. But first of all, I want to make it clear that I condemn those killings. and the abandoning of the bodies with their hands tied behind their backs. You don't do that to your allies. What happened in Gozang, I can tell you categorically and 1000%, I am not the speaker of the ADF. First of all, I want to say those who want to hear the position of the ADF, they should talk to Mr. Tapang Ivo Ntangku. They should talk to him and listen to him. He have the official position of the ADF. I'm not a member of the AGC, nor I a member of the ADF. My associate as well, Mr. Eugene Ufoka, is not a member he's a member of the AGC, but he's not a member of the ADF. He had stepped down temporarily because he wants to associate with me so that together we can be more free and liberal to work as individuals and private advocate. So this platform is not a platform for AGC. This platform is not a platform of the ADF. The work of Eugene Ufoka to advise me and to partner with me have nothing to do with the AGC or the ADF. So our positions are not the positions of the AGC or the ADF. Even though some people continue to propagate these lies that I am an AGC member and Eugene is working for the ADF, it is just lie. We are working for the struggle. Sometimes he works and help the AGC, just like me and the other movement as well. But it does not mean that we are working directly for them or we take instructions from them, no. So what happened in Gozang, it may disappoint some of you to know. I was the one who actually woke up the Secretary General of the AGC. I woke him up and I told him. He was very shocked. I'll have to explain this so that you people should know the truth. I told him that ADF has attacked. That is what I told him. Because I got the information from a chat group with many activists that ADF has attacked. I also had a phone call from ground one, from one general who called me and told me that the ADF has attacked in Gozang. So when I called them, I also told them that, hey, what are you guys doing? You guys have gone and attacked people in Gozang. They were all shocked. I called the head of the ADF, and he was also shocked. He did not have any information about that attack. He did not have any information. I struggled. I reached out to General Ivo. General Ivo, the first thing with General Ivo talking, I say, where Mama Mie? Now wait till this again, no. Where Mama Mie? Now wait till this again, so no massa. That was the conversation I have with General Ivo. He was shocked. I can say categorically clear that General Ivo, the AGC, the ADF, Dr. Ayabacho have nothing to do with that attack. But when I went to find out closely with the people who actually carried out that attack, this is me, Capo Daniel, saying, this is not a political stunt. It is not something to support somebody or something to clear somebody's name. What happened is that, according to my finding from talking to people in Busan, both fighters, and after I've even spoken to the other activist who is part of the Bali guys, I've spoken to him directly. I can tell you that that attack was carried out by a group of soldiers who were frustrated because they could not have their weapons back. Their weapons were seized from them, and they could not even wait for General Ivo to receive order because they know that the ADF will refuse. They went ahead to take their weapons. That is why they went there. And unfortunately, the incidents and the alteration from them, from those people, shows that they will not go back empty-handed. They may come back after them. And from the beatings, I think, from the pains that you have seen from the beatings that were given to those people, their legs were torn apart. They were beaten beyond recognition. Those pains, I think, is the motivation behind what we see. Those were actions from angry soldiers whose weapons, whose only means to defend themselves was taken away from them. And they have appealed to us, they have reached out to us to help them to recover those weapons. Even General Nambere, who oversees the operation that captured those soldiers, had told them to give back those weapons. General Nambere told them to return those weapons. The AMF told them to return those weapons. The only people who did not say anything about it was the ASC. Because we have people who are in the diaspora trying to set up Ambazonian against each other for us to fight. That is what they are doing. So irrespective of what you think, Dr. Ayabacho have nothing to do with that attack. The ADF has nothing to do with that attack. Those were rogue elements that conducted that attack. Out of their own mind, they bear the responsibility. But this goes to show what we have been talking all along. That all the provocations, you go around, you capture soldiers, you torture them, you put them in prison, you humiliate them, you shoot them on their legs, you seize their weapons, and people talk to you every day, you say, "Una go do it. Una go do it. Muna see what they go do." And I want to tell people that this action have shown us that lion where they sleep, you never die. Muna, be very, very careful. Those of you who are used to pointing hands, trying to threaten Ayabacho, trying to threaten me and to threaten other people, be very, very careful. Be very careful. Because when you do things like that, things like this will happen. You should know that things like this will happen. From today onward, things will not be the same. Things will not be the same. They say the violent take it by force. Ambazonians will take their liberty by force. Those who have held the struggle hostage should understand that they will take it by force. It's not going to be like before. For a long time, over 1 month, the ASC have arrested General Arike. We are begging them on social media. They are laughing. We are begging them. They are laughing. We are begging them. They are laughing. And some activists, they are there saying, no, we have to give them over. General Arike, we can hold him. They are giving him death. They are giving him life imprisonment. Every day, you have seen the boys that have armed themselves. The only person stopping those boys from going after General Amigo's guys and the troops of the ASC is me. I am the only one who is stopping them from doing that. One day we will wake up. One day we will wake up. What you have seen in Gozang will repeat itself in Com. Because when you hear picking away a lady here, Pim, you go here and poke for your head. Every day we talk, release General Arike. Nothing really happen. Every day the same story. Release General Arike. They will say, hey, we now do 80. We now go do 80. Tomorrow, when we now go here, people that go fall for down, now start beginning to say, hey, they don't keep people, they may do an away to you, they refine away to you. So what I want to say is that tell the people who are holding General Arike to release him immediately. Those people who are coming out, you know, our struggle is being destroyed by people who are there for political expediency, who are there to build their business platform, to create their political platform, to make money for business and selfish reasons. People like Chris Anu, who came into this struggle with his ambition to set up his TV station. Those are the type of people who are destroying our struggle. People who are politicians, who have been disenfranchised by the system in Cameroon. CPD and barons, their children, who have been rejected. They are coming like leviathans, like vampires, like zombies looking for blood. They see political disturbances like an opportunity. They see popular uprising like an opportunity to position themselves, take advantage of such events, and promote themselves to cash in on the political capital that such events present itself. That's why you see somebody like Sako, a 419er, who have been hiding away from the public because we have evidence, and those who are victims of his scam in Cameroon, they are waiting for him to talk to them, to address the issue of the 419 he committed in Cameroon. People who have contributed money for my trip to Boya, they are waiting for him to speak out, and he hid away himself for over a month. And when you hear of small things like this, he will jump out of his hiding place and come to address the nation, talking about criminals who are going to be arrested. I want to remind Sako that the 3 ADF fighters who were teenagers that were being held by the brother of Oliver, by the brother of Chris and Oliver in Lebialem, 2 of them have died. Let me see if I have the picture of the other one. 2 of those boys have died. He, Samuel Sako, is implicated in those deaths. I don't know if I have saved that picture here. He, Samuel Sako, was implicated in those deaths because when they held those boys in the middle of negotiation with the ADF, Samuel Sako contacted me and sent me the video to share it online, and I refused because those were teenagers. Later on, 2 of those kids were killed. One of them turned up in a Kumba hospital. He's now paralyzed. So if we want to arrest Samuel Sako for the people he has killed, we are going to start with him. General Divine, we have testimony from not only one general, people who were eyewitness, has killed over 20 Ambazonian fighters. 20 Amba boys, kill them, execute them. They killed Smalley, they killed the Godfather, execution style. We have the pictures, we have the audios. So let him stop this his nonsense, this is grandstanding, to come and lecture Ambazonians about people killing Ambazonians, people going to be arrested and pay the price. We should start with him. We should start with him. He is the commander-in-chief of the ASC. He is the political leader. He gives instructions. He is directly implicated in their own actions. I have the proof. We have witness testimony. I will release some of those subsequently. So let them stop this their grandstanding. Let them stop this their grandstanding, and let's be serious. What has happened in Gozang has happened. And that is a message to all Ambazonians, that you should be careful who you want. Be careful. Be very careful. I've seen some boys, just like some of them were coming on social media to warn me, Capo Daniel, we will do this. We will do this. When I own small power and I have a head, I'm a Capo Daniel. I tell you, say people the way they take action, they need to warn people. And those activists who are the flag bearers of the IG, not the IG of SISIKU, people who were against SISIKU when he was outside, they have now come and taken advantage of the political players who have replaced SISIKU, who have clung to power, and they are using these events to manipulate people, to flame the flames against the AGC because they have a political agenda. They have their own political agenda. They are flaming the flames. Remember that few days ago, the commander-in-chief of SOCADEF, Dr. Ebenezer Akwanga, declared war. SOCADEF have declared war against the sword of Ambazonia to capture General Divine and Pastor Daniel, life or dead or alive. And they will kill and destroy anybody who protects them. The people who are there making boop boop boop, why they did not come to condemn General, condemn the commander-in-chief of SOCADEF? Why they didn't condemn him? You are talking about killing Ambazonians. Somebody have declared war. You cannot condemn him. Who is who? Unafifu. When Chris Anu came and said that they will go and neutralize people, you did not condemn it. Now you want to come and you start to cry around that ADF has killed this, ADF has killed that. In the first place, those people were not killed by ADF. They were killed by some ADF fighters who have gone rogue, I think. That is my opinion and that is my assessment of the situation. But they were not done out of their command chain of the ADF. That was not a sanctioned policy of the ADF or the AGC. It was few soldiers who were aggrieved, who were angry, and they could not protect themselves. They had to do what they have to do to regain their weapons. I condemn that act with the highest possible terms. I call on the AGC and the ADF to hold those soldiers, if they are their soldiers, which I believe they are their soldiers, to bring them to justice. They have to be punished. They have to be punished. The AGC and the ADF have to condemn that attack. We do not tolerate any Ambazonians fighting against Ambazonian. It is not acceptable. It is not allowed. But I can only put it in perspective and to learn from this event that General Arike and the other people should also be released, because similar situation can happen. Every time you go out there, you try to provoke a situation, understand that there can be consequences. So I totally condemn that attack, and I want to say that we have to learn from it. It was not an AGC or a ADF sanctioned attack. It wasn't a command from Dr. Yabacho or General Ivor. But those who are seeking political capital out of it want to link it to them, which I condemn strongly. I condemn all the various platforms who have come out to say that General Ivor this, General Ivor that. I condemn it strongly. I also want to say, I'm sorry I don't have my notes. There are presentations I had to present about the United Nations Security Council, which I may not be able to do it now. But we want to say that enough is enough. They say the violent taketh it by force. Now, henceforth, after spoken to the AGC people, they are no more joking anymore. Nothing like a joke anymore. If you threaten General Ayabacho, if you threaten him, if you threaten Tapang Ivor, if you threaten General Ivor, there shall be consequences. I'm sending this out there because we want peace. Don't think that you sit there on social media and you'll be calling the name of activists anyhow, calling the names of general anyhow. I want to let you know that wherever you are, they have more capability than you have. They have more capability than you have. Stop all those baby threats. Stop them all. Stop them all. We all have condemned this attack. I know that General Ivor, the first thing I communicated with him, he said was where Mama Mie. So he was not involved with this attack. But the boys had to do what they had to do, which I condemn it. So I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to say that SISIKU have rejected SAKO, and those who are within the interim government have to do the same. Samuel SAKO has to step down from the IG because of his criminal record and because of the embezzlement and misappropriation of my trip to Boya. That is a treasonous act. In China and in Asia, they will execute you for doing that. When you steal money from the coffers, or you allow money to be stolen and put in private bank's account, invest it in Bitcoin during a war, you are responsible for the killing of those boys who are going to battle without any ammunition. You are directly responsible. When you enable scammers, hitmen, vampires, leviathans within the IG, within the AGC, to take command and set up gangs and cartels in Batibo and in Com to kidnap General Arike because you want to return Com and Fundong back to La République du Cameroon, then you are creating a situation where real Ambazonia fighters are going to come against you. Be sure for that. So this is a message to all the scammers within the AGC, within the ASC, that we know them. Those who kidnap General Arike because they want to receive money from the DO and the mayor, which they have received the money. Yesterday, they also last week, I think a week before, they received money from the store. They got money from a bribe from the let me not call the name for one family. One of the lady who came out to inform me, she has been assassinated as well. She's a neighbor of the daughter of the wife of Philo Munyang. She too have been assassinated by these scammers, headed by this hitman, Chris Bongam. These are the canker worms of our struggle. These are the people who were behind the adoption of SISIKU Ayoktabi. They framed him up. They came up with that ARA. They are within our struggle. And SAKO is unable to remove them because they have him under his canvas. They know his past and they are using it against him. They know his weaknesses and they are using it against him. Ask yourself, why can the country heads don't release General Arike? Why can the Restoration Council not release him? Despite the fact that everybody wants him to be released. Why? We are seeing the result on the ground. So that is my presentation for today. That's my presentation. We call for unity. We don't have to lose sight. There are many things going on in the United Nations Security Council and diplomatically. I'll need a whole show to do that. But for the meantime, Samuel SAKO have to go. He has to step down. He lacks credibility. He has failed the Ambazonia people. My trip to Boya has ended up in a swindling of money, and he has to step down for embezzling money for my trip to Boya. He has to step down. He's not a man of integrity because the money collected in Washington, D.C., even though Dr. Yabacho had to refuse to collect the money, but he should have given the money because that money was meant for all of them. We cannot expect him any good thing to come out from Sako. He has to go. That is the first requirement. He has to go. Let the people unite and restore the leadership council and have the nationalist union movement comes together. If somebody come up and is trying to convince the Ambazonia people, whether he's an activist or he's a leader, that Dr. Lucas Ayabacho is a scammer, that Dr. Lucas Ayabacho is working for his private self, then that person is crazy. That person is working for La République du Cameroon. This is what we know for sure. There are two people in this struggle that you cannot buy them. Dr. Lucas Ayabacho and Dr. Ebenezer Akwanga. These are people who have sacrificed their life for Ambazonia. They are patriots, they are patrons, they are heroes. Anybody who thinks that Dr. Ayabacho can work for himself or is working for himself has lost his mind. And anybody who come to tell you that Ayabacho, they are doing this for political expediency, they want to take people's money, that person is working for La République du Cameroon. Because if there is anything we can agree, is that if tomorrow Ayabacho is a millionaire, Ambazonia will be free. If Dr. Akwanga is a millionaire, Ambazonia will be free. Anybody who try to say the opposite, who wants to use the issue in Besang to come out there and lie to the Ambazonian people that Ayabacho is working for La République, Ayabacho was working to take money, scammers. Scammers. You want to take darkness and call it light, and take light and you call it darkness. God forbid. Chai. Woo. Yeah. I try him for one head. I try him for head. Miando the laugh cocky say the ranta if a neck. Chai. Miando the laugh cocky say the ranta if a neck. Where your own rope stand up for a head to go reach a foot. But Miando will turn the one try for laugh cocky say the ranta if a neck. Who say a mob day? No be that road down can pass cover a mob. Dr. Sako is not fit to lead a revolution. There is no revolution in the world that has been led by somebody who is a scammer. The person who can do fap, who can do wash, who can come up with a scheme to collect money from poor Ambazonia with a fake promise to train them to become nurses to send them abroad. Receive this money and run away. Go to a church bank, collect the money, embezzle them, and was detained in prison and was released on bail and skip bail and ran away abroad. That type of a person does not have the background and the proper background to lead us. Yes, I heard what Sikot said. I have spoken to Sikot. I have told Sikot that the leadership of AGC have no idea about that attack, and Sikot knows about that. So if Sikot can prove that the AGC or the ADF know about that attack, then let him come and say it. But he knows that they didn't know. That action might have been, I say might, probably is, according to my assessment, that action probably was carried out by some ADF troops who went rogue. This was not a policy of the AGC. So let's stop those who have been trying a way to blame Ayabacho or bring down General Ivor because they want to remove them. These are people who were trying to do the same thing to General Amigo. So that is the same crowd. Yes, Sako have a very bad record. Nobody who have done fap. Can you imagine somebody who have done a fap, who have done wash, somebody who have done 419? That is exactly what the scheme Sako did. Is the same. It's not different from people who have done fap. How have you do take man way and do 419? Man way and do 419 for people them. When I can't take me, we can address the nation. When I feel say those people the way they chop their money, then how did they feel? For all better country, for people that they progress, they will talk say me step down. We don't see leader they around the world. When some man gets scandal, even a palava rape. So one in the way, if a woman do accuse you to say without raping, you need to come out. You need to come out, left decent people them. Me and take control. Me and take control. Not be only saying a man where thief only for private people them. It thief money for church bank. Royal Finance, the name for the bank now, Royal Finance. Then put you for prison. Why you not be talk? Tell me they be put the one put say me be chairman. He says for talk say no massa. Some people then they will run chop their money. I be come about prison. I run a prison camp for year. So this is clear. And I want to send out this warning. All those who are thinking that they can point fingers to people like me, people like Ayabacho, people like General Ivo, and all of us who are gentlemen, be very careful. Picking when you hear cook, you go hear pok for your head. When I hear, wait till I say goes down today. We don't try to bring peace. Even General Nambere, when I be casual people then take their weapon. He says that talk to me then give back that gun them back. I mean General Nambere have said that they should return those guns. But some people who are abroad, they are manipulating those children to hold back the guns. And some activists were supporting it. I said, Mona no give the gun. Mona no give the gun. Today, we don't see what did happen. We cry that Pekin die. We cry with all our heart. The same like how we cry Amigo he die. When I go take Amigo, we don't run come if come. When I pay money go 45 for Nigeria. Say me can catch General Arike. See how he go die. Just for nothing like that. A good soldier don't go die like that one. When I need the sorry people. But if there is any lesson to learn from this, is that this their nonsense should stop. And those who are thinking that it is Ayabacho doing all these things, I want to remind you that Dr. Ebenezer Kwanga have declared war for the arrest of General Divine and Pastor Daniel. If you are afraid to speak about Ebenezer Kwanga, you shut up your mouth. If you are afraid to speak about Ebenezer Kwanga, you shut up your mouth. Ayabacho no bu una koko. Ayabacho no bu una koko. If Mark Barata want write about this issue, me go start for write and back for Dr. Ebenezer Kwanga. Me go start writing for Ebenezer Kwanga. When they catch, you take money, Mark Barata will support you like an activist. We don't talk people then buy a book. You go sell that book. Carry money, go send them again for the same cartel when they keep General Arke. It means that now you the sponsor them, no? Now you the sponsor them. You don't send money for them. You then take them, you then hold General Arke. Fine. Tomorrow, you go begin the tonton. Tonton, when you yesterday ran keys on person, you go start begin the jump. When I go begin find way for begin blame people. Mark Barata, withdraw your money from the cartel income. Withdraw your money from the cartel income. If that is what you want to use the money, when we buy a book, to sponsor kidnappers, like Chris Bongam, to sponsor people who are behind the kidnapping, receiving bribes, collecting ransoms. If those people are the people you want to give your money, we are going to boycott your book. So we are calling on Mark Barata to withdraw the money he gave to Chris Bongam. Mark Barata, withdraw that money. And before you open your mouth to talk about this attack, go and talk about the attack in Mutengene. Because on the fear Dr. Kwanga, I have a children turn on a koko. So now this one at the one I say name na an. And you want to talk na seweti. How this is the same message. So I don't talk am. The title for today na say me and all the laugh cocky say the ran tie neck. We all rope stand up a head to stay go this way food. May God bless you now. Tomorrow we will find time for get the presentation about the diplomatic progress. We don't get a lot of progress and there is a need for us to unite. So at the talk for all, I say, me all man join in hand. We'll make sure we do it to give a B. Yes, the update, I'll do the update tomorrow because of our long. I know if you talk now. Sheikh Kavi do come online. Ma see if I bring Sheikh Kavi. I ask Sheikh Kavi. These are heroes of Amazonia. These are people we should be worshipping. Streets should be named after Sheikh Kavi. These are people when some of us were there eating bonbon. They were there holding our history. These are guardians of our history, heroes of our time. Modern days, Thomas Sankaras. They want to come back and change their history and tell you that Dr. Ayabacho is working for himself. What a F. Let's see, I'm adding a Sheikh Kavi. If he is going to pick it up, he can come and speak. Maybe he will say something that I'm not able to say because he is an AGC member. And for those who are warning, who are there opening their mouth, You are warning people that you don't even know their background. All the generals on the ground, I mean the generals of the AMF, they joined and they contacted me. I will not give the name because the next thing they'll be sending those their hitmen to go and target them. Anyway, no need for me to talk about that. So I think Kavi is not coming online. It's not necessary. So that is the presentation for today. What has happened in Gozan has happened. We should never tolerate or allow Ambazonia to Ambazonia killing. We condemn that killing with the worst possible terms, and we want to put it in perspective that it was not done under command of the ADF. This was Rook soldiers that were aggrieved by the torture they had received and the failure to return their weapons. Irrespective of the campaign for them to return their weapons, irrespective of General Nambere himself, their general, giving them direct order to return the weapons, they failed to return those weapons. We condemn their killing in any way. I condemn in particularly the display of their bodies on the market with their hands tied behind their back. That is not acceptable. I call on the AGC, I call on the high command of General Ivor and the ADF to condemn that attack and to call their soldiers, to those boys who were involved, to order. They have to sanction them. But what has happened has happened. What has happened has happened. We cannot justify it, but we feel sad that people abroad are manipulating the people on ground zero to keep their weapons, even against advice. And this goes to those who are keeping General Arke. Release General Arke. Release General Arke. The hitman, the scammer, those people who were behind the adoption of entrapment of SISIKU in the ARA, who have taken control of the IG today. People like John Egoan and Chris Bongam. We have to kick them out of this struggle completely. These are not people who are working for us. Their actions have proven to us. Go and look what is happening in Fundong. They are rebuilding the office of the GO, taking money from the mayor who was banned, taking money from him and allowing him to come back. A mayor that was banned because he violated the elections ban against the senatorial election. Now he's back. Who is this sending me a message? So that is all about the presentation for today. No, they have to condemn it. Bazooka, they have to condemn it because we don't want to have soldiers taking action by themselves. ADF have to condemn this attack. I strongly recommend that ADF have to condemn those attacks, and we have put it in perspective. These were a group of soldiers who went rogue. So AGC have to condemn it and isolate themselves from it. They may choose to do so, they may not choose to do so. But my job as an activist is to speak the truth. And this serves as warning to everybody else who try to play with fire. And those who are warning Ayabacho. I have watched a video of a young man going to say he wants to call police for Dr. Ayabacho. Young man, be careful. Be very, very careful. You are playing with fire. The capability of the ADF and Ayabacho is not a joke. Kakino Bileda. Una risi le koko. Una risi le koko. But Muna knows in a lion. Dr. Ayabacho is a lion man. Stop joking with fire. Stop playing with fire. Because when you go catch for your hand, no man will be there for help you. You talk about Don Pasho. I don't want to even mention about other activists. They have the right to do what they have to do. But I can just say that the last time John Pasho was happy that the ADF, the guys in the ASC guys have kidnapped those guys and taken their weapons, that he was the one behind it. That was a lie because I spoke to the General Nambere. General Nambere was laughing. Say, which can man be that one? So let Don Pasho look for another way to gain traction. I know that there are people who use such things to beef up their popularity.